Yeah, there's McDonnell's wife, Kim, there, keeping very straight-faced about it all, and alongside there somewhere is Barry Hearn, and she's trying to smile. It must be going through, well, let's face it, going through hell, because winning the World Championship, well, they think they're more than won the pools then, don't they? And the replay, Jim, there's the old crisscross defence that I was talking to you about. There it is again.
Yeah, well, McDonnell was forced to take some good shots again in the last minute of that round, but still throwing plenty of punches of his own. Although it's been a rear guard action all the way through, McDonnell has done a lot of good work and come back with a lot of good punches.
So we're out for the 8th round then. And if you have joined us late, it's Azumah Nelson, the little Ghanaian world champion, defending the WBC Super Featherweight Championship against London's Jim McDonnell, former European champion. And it's been a really gutsy performance indeed, and a clever tactical performance in many ways by McDonnell, but he has been on the deck, and that of course goes against him. Jim, 2 American judges if it went to 12 rounds. Some possibility of that now, isn't there? I would think that, you know, they get impressed by aggression and the fact that Nelson's walking forward the whole time. They would have him one in front.
Well, I think it all depends. In the first 4 rounds, when Nelson just come forward, but he didn't throw too many punches. But the trouble was, all of McDonnell's punches were landing on arms, shoulders, and elbows. He didn't really get. He did a lot of good work, threw a lot of good punches, but wasn't getting home on target. So it depends what were the scoring for McDonnell, throwing the punches, or for the defensive skills of the champion. But McDonnell has certainly kept it close and kept it interesting, simply because of the amount of work he's done himself. Here we have another round where Nelson hasn't got to McDonnell yet.
And McDonnell there, he keeps stealing the points while Nelson's trying to make up his mind. Oh, and he made up his mind there, but he just caught him a bit too high with that. That's the thing with McDonnell, you've got to admire him. He takes a good shot like that and then immediately fights back.
Yeah, well, he's never been stopped, never actually been on the floor, and he's taken some cracking shots tonight. A little bit loose now, McDonnell. I think that once again the pace is beginning to get to him.
Nelson almost stands on his toes there, just doesn't give him any leeway. Round 9. Now, just wondering now how these... Whoops. I'll wait for that punch to come before I continue that. Just wondering how these judges are looking at it. 1 from Switzerland, 2 from America. And how much they're scoring McDonnell, stealing those punches very cleverly too. Or are they taking into account that Nelson's punches are firmer, but not always as frequent?
It also depends that I've been impressed by Nelson's defensive skills. But this is the first time Nelson has really come out firing in the first minute of a round. Maybe he feels that he better get a grip of McDonnell and pin him down, because he's stealing a lot of points, keeping on the move, He's been allowed to box his own fight. Maybe Nelson feels it's time to try to change that. But still McDonnell coming back with plenty of fire.
They're yelling from McDonnell's corner now, move, move. Well, he's certainly done that well. And at the moment, Jim, he's having a good round. Maybe he's risking it a bit by standing there trading.
Yeah, a little bit risky. His defence is a little bit open here. He's been warned, I think, for pulling Nelson on. But who can blame him? Anything for safety when they're up close.
Good round for McDonnell, Jim.
Yep, again he stood his ground and he's firing back. Some of his punches have been smothered, but he's getting through with a fair amount.
Minute to go. McDonnell got to copy Nelson's tactics a little bit. He's got to get his arms up and covering his chin a little bit. What a good round, though. He hasn't stopped throwing punches while Nelson's trying to make up his mind. And there's the countdown. He's almost punching himself to a standstill there, Jim, isn't he?
He's got so much courage, Reg. Who would have believed it would be out-punching Nelson at his own game? Good punch from McDonnell.
What a turn-up it could be, but it's at the end of the round. And they're jumping in the corner there. Barry Hearn's almost leapt over the top rope. A good ninth round indeed there for this fella, Jim McDonnell. As I say, former European champion. There's the left hook, Jim, as we watch the replay.
There's just with about 10 seconds left in the round. A lovely left hook, and McDonnell puts the champion under pressure, possibly for the first time in the fight, but who would have thought he could do it this late? See, he actually took the fight to the champion here, connected with a good left hook, pushed him back onto the ropes, and really, as I say, put the champion under pressure. And for every other round, the champion has been the man exerting the pressure.
So final words from Darky Smith. Do as you did in the 9th round, you'll be okay, and we're out for the 10th. And I have to say that at the Tyson and Bruno show, when Nelson defended against Mario Martinez, a very good fighter indeed, that he stopped him in the final round. So with this fellow, the potency doesn't leave the punches until that final bell.
But I think Nelson has been forced to work a lot harder in this one than he did in the Martinez fight. He's missed with a lot of punches. McDonnell's defence has been so good, and he really has forced the champion to work at a pace now.
He just sagged a bit there, didn't he? His open mouth, of course, to McDonnell. It's hard to tell. It just looked as though the legs betrayed him once or twice there, Jim.
Well, Nelson has so much power. Every time he connects cleanly, you have to expect to see an effect on McDonnell. You have to expect to see a shudder. But he just has so much courage. He's so fired up. He comes just forcing himself back again. But he can't afford to take too many of these punches.
Certainly got the crowd on their feet, I tell you, and it's a bit expensive to get them here tonight. They've got a £200 ringside with the Dickie Bow people and their champagne. Right above us here in the commentary position, and the referee letting them fight inside. It's good to see McDonnell pinning Nelson against the rope, then just standing back and letting a few punches go.
It's also good to see the way McDonnell is stopping Nelson from working here. He's leaning on him, keeping him off balance, throwing a couple of punches, and then just pinning down his arms.
That's a long spell, isn't it, in that corner?
Nelson should have got himself out of there a long time ago.
Oh, he almost fell into that one. I'll tell you what, Jim, I don't think Nelson can believe what's happening here. Well, any thoughts of him not being able to stay the course? McDonnell has been dispelled. I mean, I know he's already stayed 12 rounds with Brian Mitchell, but this is a much harder fight than that. And he's really stayed like a St. Ledger winner.